Of course, COVID-19 will have an impact on how the election is delivered. For months, we have been consulting with public health authorities across the country, provincial, federal, and territorial, to ensure that our services will be offered in a way that is safe for everyone. We have implemented a range of safety measures for our local offices, as well as for election day polls and advance polls. These include, for instance, and these are very familiar to all of you now, mask wearing, physical distancing, physical barriers, and single-use pencils. Electors may bring their own pencils or their own pen if they wish. As the COVID-19 situation evolves, we will continue to adjust our safety measures based on the recommendations of public health authorities. It is important to note that voters may well be assigned to polling locations that are different from the ones they are used to. That's because some of our usual locations are not available this time because of the pandemic. In some cases, this may mean that the location is a little farther away or is located in a non-traditional place or may not meet all of our accessibility criteria. Voters should pay attention to their voter information card and look carefully at the location of their advance poll and election day poll. They should also check if they have accessibility needs, whether or not the polling place meets those needs, and if not, communicate with us. Please contact Elections Canada to help us find you a place that will meet your requirements. Voter information cards will be received by early September. That being said, voting in person, whether at a local Elections Canada office, at advance polls, or on election day, remains the simplest and most convenient way to cast a ballot.
For those electors who prefer to vote by mail, this option will also be available. This is not a new option. In fact, Canadians have been voting by mail, even locally, since 1993. Electors who want to vote by mail should plan to do so early. They should leave enough time for their voter kit to get to them and for them to return it to Elections Canada by Elections Day. They can apply by providing proof of identity and address to our online application system. This is the fastest way to receive a kit, and voters can check online to see if their kit has been issued once they've applied or if their ballot, once completed, has been received. For those who are not able to apply online, we will have traditional mail-in forms available. Electors who vote by mail are responsible for ensuring that their ballot is returned in time. They should check Canada Post schedules for their region. If they are concerned about their ballot not arriving in time, they can bring it to their polling station on election day, or they can have a friend or neighbor bring it. The important thing is that it is brought at a polling station within their electoral district. It's also important to note that by law, electors who apply to vote by mail cannot simply change their mind later on and vote another way. If they have a problem with their kit, if they have not received their kit, they should contact us, and again, we'll find a way to make sure that they can vote, but they cannot simply change their mind. So I encourage electors to plan early and choose the voting option that works best for them. Now, I know that Canadians are used to getting complete results on election night, but it will be different for this election. The count of regular ballots on ordinary polling day and advance polls will be completed on the night of the election as usual. However, the count of mail-in ballots will start after Election Day once all the mail-in ballots that electors have dropped off at polling stations have been returned and integrity checks have been performed. If the volume of mail-in ballots is high, as we've seen in other jurisdictions during the pandemic, it will take longer for returning officers to count those ballots. In most locations, this should be done within 2 days, but in some districts, it could take as long as 5 days, depending on the volume and the distribution. In all cases, the count can be observed by candidates from beginning to end, from candidate representatives, and daily result updates will be published. With the changes to the process, getting accurate information about the election has never been so important. Canadians can do their part. By registering and updating your information, you are making sure that you will get a voter information card that will tell you everything you know about where and when to vote. So make sure that you are registered and check to confirm that your information is accurate by visiting elections.ca. Our website also remains your destination for accurate information about the electoral process, including all the safeguards that we have in place to protect the integrity and the safety of the vote. I'd like to end today with a message about supporting electoral democracy. Often this is something that we take for granted, which is perhaps a testimony to the high level of trust that Canadians have in their electoral process. And that's something that we can be proud of. But it's also something that needs to be supported. I invite anyone who wishes to support our electoral process, or is just curious to see how it's done, to come experience an election from the inside just one day. So come and work for us. Be one of more than 200,000 Canadians who work for federal elections to make them a reality. I encourage everyone to take advantage of the election, to get involved, and to vote.